Hi there, I am trying something new today. Many years ago, when I was doing my master's program in spiritual guidance, I was assigned a book and I read it. And it was okay. It wasn't really anything special at that time, but I'm a reader. I love to read, and so I read it. But something told me a couple of months ago when I was wandering around at the public library to pick up the book again, and I did. And it's been sitting in my pile of books to return to the library once the libraries are back open. And I picked it up this morning, and I thought, now I get it. So I'm Dr. Saira, and like I said, I'm trying something new. I want to kind of have like a library corner where I share maybe from this book, maybe from other books. I haven't really thought it all through yet, but as I was reading it this morning, I thought I have to tell people because I think many people will be able to relate to what's in this book. So the book is The Dark Night of the Soul by Thomas Moore. Again, it was something that I was assigned in my master's program in transpersonal psychology. But I just want to read a part of it to you. So get ready for story time. Here it is. So this is the introduction, The Dark Night. At one time or another, most people go through a period of sadness, trial, loss, frustration, or failure that is so disturbing and long-lasting that it can be called a dark night of the soul. If your main interest in life is health, you may quickly try to overcome the darkness. But if you are looking for meaning, character, and personal substance, you may discover that a dark night has many important gifts for you. Today, we label many of these experiences depression, but not all dark nights are depressive. And the word is too clinical for something that makes you question the very meaning of life. It's time for a different way of imagining this common experience and therefore a different way of dealing with it. But, I warn you, this business is subtle, and you will have to look closely at yourself and at the examples I give to see how a deeply disturbing episode can be a precious moment of transformation. Every human life is made up of the dark and the light, the happy and the sad, the vital and the deadening. How you think about this rhythm of moods makes all the difference. Are you going to hide out in self-delusion and distracting entertainments? Are you going to become cynical and depressed? Or are you going to open your heart to a mystery that is as natural as the sun and the moon, day and night, and summer and winter? If you are like most people, you have gone through several dark nights of the soul. You may be in the middle of one now. You may be in a difficult marriage, have a child in trouble, or find yourself caught in a tenacious and terrible mood. You may be grieving the loss of a spouse or a parent. You may have been betrayed by a lover or a business partner or going through a divorce. For some people, these situations are problems to be solved, but for others, they are a source of deep despair. A true dark night of the soul is not a surface challenge, but a development that takes you away from the joy of your ordinary life. An external event or internal mood strikes you at the core of your existence. This is not a feeling, but a rupture in your very being, and it may take a long while to get through it to the other end of it. A dark night may not feel like depression. In a long illness or a troubled marriage, you may become anxious but not depressed. On the other hand, a clinical depression might well qualify as a dark night. Whatever you call it, the experience involves you as a person, someone with a history, a temperament, memories, emotions, and ideas. Depression is a label and a syndrome, while a dark night is a meaningful event. Depression is a psychological sickness. A dark night is a spiritual trial. Many people think that the point in life is to solve their problems and be happy. But happiness is usually a fleeting sensation, and you never get rid of problems. Your purpose in life may be to become more who you are and more engaged with the people and the life around you to really live your life. That may sound obvious, yet many people spend their time avoiding life. They are afraid to let it flow through them, and so their vitality gets channeled into ambitions, addictions, and preoccupations that don't give them anything worth having. A dark night may appear, paradoxically, as a way to return to living. It pares life down to its essentials and helps you get a new start. Here, I want to explore positive contributions of your dark nights, painful as they may be. I don't want to romanticize them or deny their dangers. I don't even want to suggest that you can always get through them, but I do see them as opportunities to be transformed from within in ways you could never imagine. A dark night is like Dante getting sleepy, wandering from his path, mindlessly slipping into a cave. It is like Alice looking at the mirror and then going through it. It is like Odysseus being tossed by stormy waves and Tristan adrift without an oar. You don't choose a dark night for yourself. It is given to you. Your job is to get close to it and sift it for its gold. And so I'll read a little bit of the next section, which is called Night Work. You probably know more about the depths of your soul from periods of pain and confusion than periods of comfort. Darkness and turmoil stimulate the imagination in a certain way. They allow you to see things you might ordinarily overlook. You become sensitive to a different spectrum of emotion and meaning. You perceive the ultraviolet extremes of your feelings and thoughts, and you learn things you wouldn't notice in times of normalcy and brightness. A dark night of the soul is not extraordinary or rare. It is a natural part of life, and you can gain as much from it as you can from times of normalcy. Just look around at your friends and acquaintances. One is going through a divorce, another's mother is seriously ill, a young child has been hurt in an accident, another can't get a job, several are depressed and acting strangely. This is today's list in my own life, and it doesn't even include the threat of war and the fear of terrorism. Each of these involves both suffering and discovery. If you give all your effort to getting rid of your dark night, you may not learn its lessons or go through the important changes it can make for you. I want to encourage you to enter the darkness with all your strength and intelligence, and perhaps find a new vision and a deeper sense of self. Even if the source is external, a crime, rape, an abortion, being cheated, business pressure, being held captive, or the threat of terrorism, you can still discover new resources in yourself and a new outlook on life. We are not out to solve the dark night, but to be enriched by it. Hopefully I've piqued your interest. Dark Night of the Soul by Thomas More. I think it's a really, really great read for many of us during this time. Thank you. Have a good day.